whether it's building up or whatever, what's he thinking around similar really the receiver?
Get my body in a position to go forward as quickly as possible. That's always, it was my first thought. It wasn't so much put my body in position, it was where do I want my pass to go, and then kind of that would shape. Rather than thinking I'll get the ball, then where do I want to pass it, your body could be in all sorts of positions where that pass forward, that's the best pass, is not possible anymore because you're facing the wrong way. So you try and think about the pass and then prepare your body position or your angle because of the space to give yourself the best chance. And that kind of almost, well, it happens instinctively after as you go on and progress. But it's definitely the thought of, again, where's the most effective pass, and let me make the picture, because at this moment in time I can't make that pass, so I need to prepare my body in an angle and a position to be able to make that pass.
What's the difference between when you're marked and when you're not marked?
Sometimes there's no difference. Sometimes you use the actual your marker as a guide as well, so as a reference point. Sometimes if you're marked, in some ways I found it better because it would force you into getting in a good position to play the next pass. Sometimes you can get late if you're not marked. All of a sudden you sometimes do something a little bit slower, or you're a little bit sloppy with it because you think I've got loads of time. Whereas if you're marked and you're pulling off that angle instantly in your body position and you one touch, because you have to do it one touch, sometimes you've got time and you might take two. So obviously sometimes if you're marked well, then it's tough to get on the ball and turn and play forward, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be harder just because you're marked.
Especially when you're marked, as the ball's travelling, how much of your attention do you think's on the picture and how much is it on the technique, and does that change?
I think that's sometimes where it helps you if you're marked, because that dictates sometimes. If you want to drag someone and suck someone towards you, then you're making that yard to maybe pop it around the corner with the outside of your foot and go around the other way. So that's what I mean, you're using them as a reference point because you're marked. If there's no one there, then that doesn't happen, So I wouldn't say it's easier when you're marked actually, but it's just sometimes it helps you get a gauge of the space and what you want to do next by taking him out of the game.
Just in terms of the actual touch, the actual first touch, but really, what are you thinking on that?
I always like my first touch to be close to us. I know people say get it out your feet, but I always like my first touch for me to be able to play it with my next without taking another stride. I didn't like getting out your feet and having to take a stride, because then that prepares everybody for the balls then passing. I think if I can take a touch and it's there's that little sweet spot just in your feet where you can then punch a pass quickly, touch pass without having to touch, get out your feet, look up, take even that one step, then prepares the defenders, and they can all of a sudden get set. It's like a keeper with a striker, if you like. If you take that touch out your feet, the keeper sets himself right at the point where he's going to strike it. If it's a touch and a finish and the keeper's just in the middle of settling himself, then it's past him before he's ready. So it's similar with a pass really, and I always preferred to do that one first because it was quicker to can I get it close to my feet and pass, and then if not, then I might take it out my feet a little bit longer. Sometimes it took away the longer pass, maybe straight away because it was in my feet, but I found that it was in my feet and pass through the lines or past wherever it was next was quicker than that extra step to then look at the picture again. The picture was kind of too slow then. It happened a bit quicker if I had it right in between my feet.